Good morning, Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, Putnam, Connecticut. Out here in Killingly, Connecticut this morning, and it's about 45 degrees in the shade, and we've got a house that's fairly well roasted. So we are shooting with the 5.5 gallon per minute pressure washer this morning with a 1.8 injector, which pulls about 10 to 1 for me. So with my wicked hot sauce from Robert's Chemical, we're putting up about 1.5%. In the cold weather, that makes a big difference. We're seeing some movement pretty quickly, and I'm just going through and giving these really dark spots a quick pre-treat, and then we'll come back through and give a secondary treatment where needed. I'm hoping not to have to use a ladder here this morning. I think I might have one spot in the front. I've got some lichen. I may put the 16 up just to get a little bit better shot on, but we should have no trouble cleaning today. We've got a fairly booked day. We've got vinyl siding to wash. We've got cedar siding to wash, shake siding, and we have a roof wash today. And then I have one client who's an investor that sent me 3 properties in Killingly to wash. So we've got a nice busy day. It's about 9:15 in the morning. I just got off a power hour call with Tyler from Sheridan, Connecticut this morning. Tyler's in like year 3 of his business and wanted to talk all about seasonal agreements and how to market and some branding, these kind of things. And we had a great conversation, and I'm looking forward to having a few more of them with guys that are interested. So if you'd like to call me and talk power hour, my number is below in the description. And if you don't, or you're not interested, that's okay too. I got some negative feedback on it yesterday, but we're just going to deal with that. I'm not going to entertain much negativity about it. If it's not something you're interested in, that's no problem. If it is, and you want to talk to me personally, this is how we can do it. In the meantime, we're out here washing houses and showing you how we do it for free. Another thing the hot sauce is good for is cleaning these garage rubbers. Those things are always black and don't come clean very quickly unless you're using hot sauce. Sometimes I have a little SH in a spray bottle, and I'll hit those specifically when they're real nasty. I think that's one of the important details that you can take care of on your house washes that sets you apart, and clients are always thrilled to see, especially if you point it out to them on your walk around, your pre walk around. If you are able to do a pre-wash walk around with a client, I like to walk around, talk about some of the things we see. And if I see those nasty black garage rubbers, I'll point that out to them and say, we're going to try to get those clean for you. Sometimes they come very clean, sometimes they don't. And set that expectation that they might not be perfect. And then you come back and make them perfect. This has come very clean in just the time I'm doing this with you. Second sauce right here. And look at that difference we've produced already. So in another 5 minutes dwell time, those are going to be nearly perfect. And then you point that out to your client when you walk back around, and they go, ooh, wow. Not bad. All right, next project is this old cedar shake sided Cape style house in Killingly. And we are on the 8 gallon machine with the 2.1 injector, putting up about 1% on this property. My 2.1 injector on the 8 gallon pulls about 14 to 1. Keeping in mind that I'm running some wicked hot sauce. I got the 15% sauce from Robert's Chemical. Gives me a real fast reaction. I know there's other ways to wash wood. We do everything with SH. All right, this is one of the multiple properties we're doing for the same investor today. This is a 3-unit. We've completed washing it now. I did this project while I was talking to my new friend Mike from New Jersey on his Power Hour call. Mike's about 4 years in business and we had a great conversation. Sign in the yard, on to the next one. And next project, we got this little vinyl sided Cape house. And we have other contractors here. They're doing some siding in the back. Apparently the porch rotted off the house and they're repairing the siding in the back, which is equally as dirty as this. So they're literally patching it up with dirty siding back there. So they said they're gonna be out of here pretty quick. So I'm gonna wash the other 3 sides and try to avoid them until they're done. And we'll keep it moving. I went and had lunch at Sweet Peas in Brooklyn. And they make a fantastic sandwich called a farm market sandwich, which is all vegetables. I'm doing my best to keep my diet on track so I can live a minute longer. We're still in soap mode over here. This place is filthy. I'm gonna give it a nice heavy dose. I'm running the 8-gallon per minute machine with a 2.1 injector right now. It's pretty warm out at the moment. It's warmed up to about 65 here today. So that's good news for me. And there's no water here, so thankfully I'm rolling around with full tanks. Even though I've done 4 projects already today, I've been on city water most of the day. So I got here with 500 gallons in my truck, and that's gonna get me by. I'll probably use 275, 300 or so here. And we got 1 more project after this, we should be okay. All done. And we still have 300 on the truck. We were brimming full, so we used about 200 on this project. Not too bad. Decent sized cape and a garage, and it was filthy on that side and the back. We got our last project of the day, another multi-unit. I think there's 5 units here. This place, of course, is pretty well roasted. As you see, this concrete under here is nasty. Look at my gun pole, I'm on 250. With the 8-gallon 2.1 injector. I may wish I pulled the hot sauce for this one, but we're gonna start by soaping these areas that are nasty to begin with. Get a little glass wet while we're waiting for our soap to come through, so we're not terribly diluting sauce we want to lay down. To start with, bugs, cobwebs. It is 3 o'clock. Helps if you push mix mode. Makes a big difference. You don't get any soap unless you turn the dial. Come on, soap. It's usually about a 10 to 12 second transition for soap with the Flow Pro. Like I say, there we go, there it is. We want to get these areas hanging out with some soap right away because we're likely doing 2 or 3 coats in here as we move through the property to get the result that we want. And this is not necessarily something I counted on having to do here either. So I want to make as quick work of it as I can. I'm not going to spend all day in here. We got a lot of little alcoves to work with, little decking areas and whatnot. So we're getting some pre-treat on that, let it hang out. And then you saw this roasted siding when I was on my way around. So we're going to get some soap on that right away. so we can have the extended dwell time doing what it needs to do. Right, I'm on my third soaping now. We haven't made a huge difference here. Can't say I love it. Probably should have pulled the hotter sauce. We did do a good job on a lot of it. A lot of it has come off, but maybe this third hit will help. And then we are on second hit on this roasted siding. There's some lichen sitting on there, so I'm hoping that this starts to move before I want to come back around. This did a pretty good job on the concrete down here, so we're gonna get there. A little patience. It's improved dramatically. Is this my best work? No. Am I doing any more than this? I can't. I really can't. It's not within what we budgeted for. We've made a pretty dramatic improvement. It's much cleaner than it was. That's not perfect, but that's going to be turbo nozzle work to improve any further. We get everything rinsed off nicely, and I'll explain to the client if they want to go any further with that, it's going to have to be, you know, another service. Wound up soaping this siding 3 times. You can't see it, I'm sure, because it's white siding, but there's really tiny lichen all over this siding. Yeah, it took me 3 treatments to soften up enough to rinse off from the ground here. We're doing every board rinsing. And it's coming off. I should have grabbed the hotter machine. And it's getting cold enough out that it's probably time for me to switch back to a 1.8 injector on the 8-gallon. That would have helped a little bit. And in retrospect, I probably should have pulled the 12 volt here and hit it with some 2.5% or something like that, instead of struggling back and forth. We still made good time on this job, but it could have been less effort. We are home and done for the day. We had a power hour call with Lucas out of Framingham, Massachusetts. Young guy. I think he's going to be super successful. Real nice talk with him today. We wound up getting home with about 40 gallons of shock because the customer opted out of the roof wash that we were going to do today. They decided they're going to replace the roof instead of having me wash it. So we're good to go. We're probably going to add some more chemical for tomorrow. We do have 6 projects tomorrow. Lauren's coming out with me. We're going to have a really great day. I pulled double minimum today, which is awesome. Go home with almost 375 gallons worth of water, which is also awesome because I'm not going to have to come out here and fill my tank up in the morning. You guys have a great night, and we're going to catch you tomorrow.